Back with a new book that shares the story of 19 impactful women in sports.
Here it is. Here it is called In a League of Her Own, celebrating female first in sports. Bonnie-Jill Laflin interviews Billie Jean King, Jackie Joyner-Kersee, Mary Lou Retton, and many others about the reality women face in athletics. And Bonnie-Jill joins us now. Welcome to the morning show.
Thank you so much for having me.
It is our pleasure. Well, you yourself were a cheerleader in the NFL, NBA, before going on to become the first female NBA scout. High five to that.
Oh, thank you.
Very good. We love our
Girl
first.
power.
And then many more to follow, of course. Tell us how your own personal experiences kind of birthed this book.
Yes, it was really important for me to be able to show the younger generation that there is a space for you as a woman. Maybe there's not even a woman in that role, but kind of create that seat, create that role. And for me, there wasn't any other men. And when they asked me for that opportunity to be a scout, I was like, oh, this is going to be tough because all the men here have been like scouting since the dinosaur ages. Are they going to accept me? And it was tough to be embraced in the beginning because I was a female and because of my path wasn't very, conventional. So it took a lot for them to understand me, for them to think I was credible, knowledgeable, and once they realize, get past the fact that I'm a female, then they just talked to me about basketball and hoops, and then they kind of went out the window. They just thought of me as another scout. But that took a long time for that to happen. So a lot of tears at night, wondering if I should stay in this position, and had great mentors like the late Dr. Jeannie Buss, who's in my book, and Kobe Bryant. He was like, you know what, this is good. Have a chip on your shoulder. Have, that where you can prove people wrong and kind of live that through your entire career, because you'll actually fuel yourself and that passion will, come through your work.
Yeah, well, you certainly blazed a trail, and you talked to 19 other trailblazers in this book, including Billie Jean King.
Yes.
Talk to us about sitting down with the great.
Oh, it was just, when you write a book like this, it's like if you don't have Billie Jean King, I'm like, if I don't have her as my chapter one, I don't have a book. And so being able to have her share her stories and be so happy that she was, part of this book was just like, I kind of had that fangirl moment, when you're finally having, the icon, the legend, and having her stories. I mean, yes, everyone knows her story, but she was able to kind of, unveil a little bit more.
You also talked to Canadian Manon Rhéaume, who signed with Tampa Bay back in '92.
And we had a lot in common because when she was a goaltender, she would throw her hair up. Her dad would tell her to throw her hair up, so no one knew that she was a woman, that she was a little girl. And I did the same thing when I was scouting. I'd throw my hair up in a ball cap and wear baggy sweats because I didn't want people to know that I was a female, because I wanted them to just know me as a scout. And so we kind of laughed about that because we both did that because we wanted to be accepted.
Mm-hmm. I want to ask you as well, all over the headlines, and rightfully so, the last few weeks, has been the great Caitlyn Clark, who was just recently selected first overall in the 2024 WNBA draft. Now, she is estimated to make approximately $77,000 in her first season, just under $350,000 over 4 years. Meanwhile, the NBA's first overall pick will make just over $12 million in his first year.
Yeah.
What do you make of this? This has been the topic of discussion and controversy.
Well, to be honest, this is how it's been for so long. It's now magnitude, and there's so much more, scrutiny on this because they didn't realize this has been going on for a long time. That NBA's had to float this league for a long time, and I'm hoping people see, okay, she's only making this much money. Well, the reason it is because we're not getting enough fans there. So it's like to get people to start buying the merchandise. Go to these games, not just, post something on social media, but just like the Professional Women's Hockey League. Get in the seats. Bring your daughter to a game.
Just recently set a record, by the way, in Montreal. 21,000 to sell out there.
And so I keep telling everyone, make sure you go to these games, because that's the only way that you're going to be able to empower these women and get their salaries up. And of course, she's making the $28 million deal from Nike, but actually the salary-wise, those women don't make a lot, and they put everything into it. So it's like we got to support them, not just now in college, but to translate that into the WNBA.
Where do you think we're at? We've come a long way, and what sticks in my head is what you said there when you first became a scout, that they, your colleagues, some of them needed to get past that, past the fact that you were a female. No, there's no getting past it. We are, and we're good. Take it. This is who we are. Where do you think we are at along this journey?
I think we're making big strides, and I think we are celebrating women in sports, but there's still a long way to go.
Well, there's Jeff's point, bringing up that the
salaries,
the
yes, and I think it's still like when a woman makes a mistake in media, it's like it's so much more. There's like this. I don't know what it is. It's like you're kind of take a hit bigger than men, unfortunately, and so like in sports, if you happen to mispronounce an athlete's name, I mean, it's all over the place. Oh, take her credential away. Why is she, why is she covering this sport? So there's still a lot of things that I think, people need to get past, that we all are kind of one. But I don't want it to be where a woman's in a role because she's a woman. No, because she's got the talent to be there.
Right.
And that's my biggest thing, is not just because you're checking a box.
All right, in a league of her own, celebrating female first in sports. There it is right there. It is available now. Bonnie-Jill, really interesting discussion.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations on the book.
Thank you so much.